प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। नित्यानन्दमहं नौमि सर्वानन्दकरं परं, हरिनाम प्रदं देवम् अवधूतशिरोमणि। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते, कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्रिसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते, गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय, श्री निताई गौरंग की जय, श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after South India tour, he came to Jagannath Puri and started living in Jagannath Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Jagannath Puri for 18 long years. 6 years he traveled from Jagannath Puri to South India, then again came back and traveled towards Bengal, and again from Bengal came to Puri, and very shortly he started for Vrindavan and traveled Vrindavan, Kashi, Prayag, and again returned back to Jagannath Puri. So total 24 years Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent his sannyas life. In those 24 years, 18 years he was there in Jagannath Puri. And every year he would attend Rath Yatra. So this is first Rath Yatra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because when he took sannyas, immediately after sannyas, in 1 or 2 months, he started for South India tour. And in South India, he traveled about 2.5 years. So, yet he has not attended Rath Yatra. After coming from South India, first time he is going to attend Rath Yatra. So till that time, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already liberated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very elderly and very scholarly also. So this news traveled space everywhere in Odisha that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got converted and he became the disciple of a young sannyasi with just 24 years. So the fame of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread everywhere. That young sannyasi, he transformed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And because the king of Odisha, called Prataparudra, he was also the disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very scholarly and was very famous in Odisha. And personally, king had taken disciple, he has become the disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But when the guru itself got converted, so king was very much surprised that who is that young sannyasi, I want to see him, I want to meet him. Then he requested his spiritual master Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, now who has become a Vaishnava. Earlier Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was Mayavadi, right? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was Mayavadi. So now he has become a great Vaishnava. Now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns, so King Prataparudra had a discussion at length with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained everything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to king, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is supreme personality of Godhead. He has personally appeared to deliver all the conditioned souls. So king became very much excited to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, So you see, the king of Odisha, he is even trying to get a glimpse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very strict in his sannyas principle, because it is a duty of sannyasi not to meet any king or any rich class. It is duty of a sannyasi. Sannyasi is supposed to not even talk to his own, wife, because he has taken sannyas now. He can never meet his wife now. In after taking sannyas, he can never meet, and he can never talk to even any women. No. So sannyasi is not supposed to talk or meet with the king or rich class or women class. But here a king Pratap Rudra, he is trying to meet and get the blessings, and the he wants to touch the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is strictly denied. Just see here, devotee Sarum Bhattacharya, he is on behalf of Pratap Rudra, he is going and telling to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that king wants to meet, kindly bless him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict. He didn't respond to the request of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. So, but 2-3 times when they were, requesting and on behalf of Pratap Rudra, Sarum Bhattacharya was 2-3 times urged to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then even other devotees also requested. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very angry that if you again say to me, then I will leave Jagannath Puri. So then all the devotees became very fearful. And there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made a very significant statement. A verse comes that निष्किञ्चनस्य भगवद्भजनोन्मुखस्य पारं परं जिग्मिषोर्भवसागरस्य हा हन्त हन्त विस्भक्षणतोप्य साधु. Means, if you want to cross over this ocean of nescience, निष्किञ्चनस्य, you should become निष्किञ्चन मतलब poverty stricken condition. You should live in a poverty stricken condition, not at all attached to the wealth or any material luxurious facilities. So niskinchanasya and Bhagavad Bhajanonmukasya. Then only one can take interest in Bhagavad Bhajan, in the chanting the holy name of the Lord, Bhagavad Bhajan. Param Param Jigmishor Bhavasagarasya. Then only he can cross over this ocean of material existence, which is very, very difficult. Param Param Jigmishor, it is very, very difficult, almost impossible. Bhavasagarasya, to cross over this Bhavasagar. Then he said, Sandarsanam Vishayinam Athayoshitaamscha. Sandarsanam, and a person who is very much interested to cross over this, ocean of nescience, which is very, very difficult. For such person who is very much keen to cross over, Sandarsanam Vishayinam, to see a Visai means a sense gratifier who is indulged into all kinds of sense gratification, who is breaking four regulative principles. Even to have a darshan of such persons, san darsanam vishayinam, a vishayi who is very much fond of sense gratification. San darsanam vishayinam atyoshitamsha, or seeing a woman or a person who is attached to a woman. It is very, very dangerous to see such a person. If you are really interested to go back to Krishna, you want to cross over the ocean of material existence. Sandarsanam Vishayinam Athayositamsha Ha Hant Hant. So कान बंद करके चैतन्य महाप्रभु बोलते हा हंत हंत विष भक्षण. इससे अच्छा to see a person who is vishayi, who is engaged in material activity, or to see a woman Yositamsha, not women, one who is attached to women. What to speak of women who is attached to women? To see such person, इससे तो अच्छा क्या है? विषयी नाम से अतयोसित हा हंत हंत विष भक्षण. इससे तो अच्छा विष भक्षण कर लो. You drink poison and die. rather than seeing such a person who is materially engrossed. Ahant hant visbhakshan atopya sadhu. It is not at all desirable to see a Visayi. उससे तो अच्छा क्या कर लें, जहर पी लें हम. Now, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this statement to the devotees when they requested to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that he can at least give his blessing to King Pratap Rudra. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this statement that this king you are talking about, king. I meet with king who is Vishayi, who is indulged into sense gratification, who is indulged into mundane activities. उससे तो अच्छा मैं विष पी के जहर पी के मर जाऊं. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, he is setting an example that how strict we should be in following the principles of Krishna consciousness, which our spiritual master has asked us to follow. Very much committed we should be. Then only we can go back to Godhead. Going back to Godhead not so easy. It is not so cheap that you just desire and go back to Godhead. No, it is not eating feasting. Go and eat nicely, enjoy, and yes, done. It is very difficult task, but it becomes very easy when we follow the principles given by spiritual master. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is setting here an example by his personal example for all his devotees in future, that one should be very strict in following the principles given by spiritual master. Then only one can go back to Krishna, otherwise not possible. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not meet, and then Sarum Bhattacharya explained to king that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not interested to meet you, but you desire when Lord will be pleased, then he will bestow his mercy. Let us wait for that right time when Lord will be pleased, he will bless you. Now, very soon Rath Yatra was there. So Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maiya, they were taken from the altar to their respective rathas, and all the rathas are constructed by the Pandas in Jagannath Puri without using any iron materials, not any nails, nothing. Without using anything, they just make ratha with the woods. Only by wood they will make such a gigantic ratha. They will fix in such a way that big wheels, about 10 feet the diameter of the wheel, 10 feet, you can just imagine, 10 to 15 feet are the diameters of all the wheels, and so many wheels they have to prepare, but without any nails or any fixture of so-called today's advanced technological advancement. No, they will not use. Whatever they are using in parampara, earlier what they were using, same thing is coming in parampara. Traditional ratha they make, what was being made earlier at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even today that same ratha is built with the woods only. So Ratha is built, and all the big powerful pandas called daitas, they are called daitas, they will, with the silk rope, they will bound Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maiya, and they will catch hold that, and they will lift Jagannath, all the daitas. And one daita, they are called daitas. So one daita will be as powerful as drunken elephant. जैसे पागल हाथी एकदम कुछ भी कर देती है, वैसे ही these Dait Pandas are very powerful, very stout, strong physique. So Daita will come and they will lift Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maiya, and they will place them into Ratha. So when Rath Yatra started, during Rath Yatra, what happens? There is a ceremony where the king will come and he will broom the road, the pathway from which Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra will proceed. So when the king came and with the golden broomstick, he was brooming, and cleansing the road, and he was sprinkling the sandal, that saint. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this. So by seeing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy upon king first time. King is doing such a menial service. So by this we can understand, if one wants to please Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so one should be interested to do menial services. Menial services, cleansing or washing, like that. So when the king personally, he was cleansing the road, and he was sprinkling the sandal saint, then Lord Chaitanya became very happy. And that is the first time when king got the blessings in the form of satisfying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now Rath Yatra began, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had formed many groups, many groups. 7 groups Chaitanya Mahaprabhu formed, and in all the groups, many devotees will be there. They will be leading Sankirtan. Like Nityanand Prabhu in one group, Advaita Acharya Prabhu in one group, Srivas Thakur in another group. So like that, different devotees, they will be making a group about 22 people. One group will consist of 22 people. Two devotees will play mridanga, and there will be 8 kartals. 8 kartal means 4 for one mridanga. So 2 mridangas, 8 kartals, and there will be many followers who will be following the lead singer, and there will be some dancers. So like that, 22 people will be there in one group. So like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made 7 teams, 7 groups, 4 in front of Jagannath, 2 side by on the either side of the Ratha, and 1 on the back side. So 4 in the front, 2 both the sides, and 1 behind. So there are total 7 groups. And then when Rath Yatra began, all the devotees together, they started singing. And just imagine, every group there are 2 mridangas. So how many mridangas? Drums? 7 into 2. 14 drums are being played simultaneously. Just imagine what will be the vibration of the Rath Yatra. It was tremendous, means whole Jagannath Puri was full of ecstasy. Everybody were dancing, they were dancing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became mad, he was ecstatically dancing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there started exhibiting his internal potency. How he expanded himself into 7 forms. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present in all the groups. So all the group members, they thought that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there with me in our group. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in all the 7 groups. Just like Krishna, when he was there in Dwarika, he expanded himself into 16,108 forms to be with all the queens. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also expanded into 7 different forms. So all the group members, they are thinking that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there with us. But only few devotees could see, like Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because king has already received the blessings, he also could witness that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has expanded himself. Sometimes he will expand, sometimes he will be there only in one group. Like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his internal potency, and he was dancing. Sometimes, and it is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when he would take step while dancing, the earth will appear to be tilt. Earth carrying mountains and oceans, it would appear that it is tilted by the movements taken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would dance, jump, and he will shed tears. But the force of the tears coming from the eyes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so powerful, so forceful, that it was like syringe, a doctor's syringe, when you know, take water, and when you push the water outside the syringe, then with the force by which the water comes out, the same force, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tears were coming out. and all the devotees were collecting and drinking the tears. Sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant and dance, and he would roll on the ground, blood, because ground is roadside only. So there will be some cut, bloods are coming out, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in ecstasy. Sometimes he would fall down. Other people, they would be very fearful. They would be thinking, oh, this, because not everybody could understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord. Only confidential devotees are able to understand. So they would feel, at least they would feel, oh, this person is falling down. He may not get hurt. So like that. So like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued his Rath Yatra. Sometimes Ratha will stop. Jagannath is enjoying the dance, ecstatic dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jagannath sometimes to see Ratha, to see dancing, Ratha will stop. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become unconscious, so Ratha will stop and Jagannath will see. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again will be conscious, then Ratha will move. So like that, there was a transcendental exchange going on between Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And both are Krishna only. But just see what a transcendental exchange is going on. So once what happened when Rath Yatra was going on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started singing one song. And that song nobody could understand except Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar was personal secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Correct? I had explained in Raghunath Das Goswami's pastime. Raghunath Das was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the assistance of Swarup Damodar Goswami, under the guidance of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami as secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was able to understand the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started singing one beautiful song, Swarup, nobody could understand except Swarup Damodar Goswami. So that song was Seith Parananath Painu Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan Jhuri Genu. This is in Bengali. Seith Parananath Painu Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan Jhuri Genu. So it appears that lover is singing for his beloved. Two lovers are there. So one lover is singing for his beloved. So this song appears to be like that. That Seith Parananath Painu. Now I have got the Lord of my heart, Prananath. I have got my Prananath. Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan Jhuri Genu. In absence of whom I was burning in the fire of Kamadev. Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan. Madan means Kamdev. In absence of whom I was burning in the fire of Madan or Kamadev, and I was getting withered, means I was drying away. Yaha lagi Madan Dahan Jhuri Genu. I was drying off. So just like a lover sings for his beloved, similarly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing this for Jagannath. So nobody could understand the meaning of this except Swarup Damodar. So once Rupa Goswami visited Jagannath Rath Yatra. In other time, this Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was singing. Every Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sing this song, and nobody could figure out what is this song. Only Swarup Damodar. So once Rupa Goswami reached, Rupa Goswami, because he was Muslim, he worked under the Muslim, so he was not allowed to enter in Jagannath Puri to have darshan of Jagannath. Even today that custom is there. Except Hindus, nobody can enter in the temple of Jagannath. Even Prabhupada revolted personally, because Prabhupada, when he went to Jagannath Puri, his disciples were not allowed by the Pandas to enter the temple. So Prabhupada became very angry. Prabhupada said, if you don't allow my disciples, I will also not enter the temple. I will also not have darshan. Rather, I would call out Jagannath to the whole world. And that actually happened. Jagannath personally came from Jagannath Puri to Jagat. And Prabhupada by his power of devotion to Krishna, he called Jagannath from Jagannath Puri to all over the world. Today you see on Jagannath Rath Yatra Day, everywhere in every part of the world, wherever Prabhupada has introduced Rath Yatra, wherever there is con, Rath Yatra happens. First Rath Yatra happened in, apart from Jagannath Puri, in San Francisco in 1968. No, not 67. It was very grand, successful Rath Yatra. Three big Rathas were made, and Jayananda Prabhu was, he was organizer. He constructed Ratha. He was mechanical engineer, so he only constructed Rathas. He only carved Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maya. And how Prabhupada got Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra in the West, that pastime is also very interesting. Once what happened, one Mataji, I am forgetting her name, she had gone to an Indian shop to purchase something. And then she saw one very typical doll, three typical dolls that Mataji saw. I think that was Janaki Mataji or Yamuna Mataji. Some Mataji was there in the beginning days. So she thought that let me carry one of them, maybe Prabhupada would like this. Because she had gone to Indian shop, so she could not understand that what is this doll, typical doll. So she purchased one of them. There were three, and brought and handed to Prabhupada. And as soon as she gave to Prabhupada, Prabhupada placed on his table and paid Dandavat. So that Mataji became very alert, who became very surprised. What is this? I thought this is doll and Prabhupada is paying obeisances. So then Prabhupada said, I see, asked, who is this, Prabhupada? Why are you paying obeisance? So see, Prabhupada said, this is Jagannath. And then Prabhupada said, you go and you would find two more dolls like that, two more deities. So then she immediately went and brought the other two. So that they were Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadramaya. That's how that Mataji, foreign, she was not knowing. But just see how Jagannath desired to come to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada gave Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, small deities to Jayananda Prabhu and asked him to carve a big, in the same structure, same shape, same everything, expression, same, to carve a big deity of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And Jayananda Prabhu carved that. And then first Rath Yatra was organized in San Francisco in 1967, and it was grand success, grand success. Thousands and you can see on the internet also, YouTube, it is available. Thousands and thousands of people participated in Rath Yatra. So see, by the power of his devotion, Prabhupada called Jagannath to whole world, because he was not allowed in Jagannath Puri temple. So he said, if you don't allow my disciples, I will also not enter. So therefore Rupa Goswami was not allowed. But anyway, Rupa Goswami did not dare also to enter. He would come during Rath Yatra to have darshan. Jagannath gives one opportunity for everyone to come and have darshan. That is Rath Yatra. Even Muslims or Christians, anybody can come. So Rup Goswami and Haridas Thakur, even Haridas Thakur was also not allowed because he was actually Muslim. So they would come during Rath Yatra and they would have darshan. So when Rupa Goswami came and when he heard this, immediately he understood. And when Rupa Goswami, when Rath Yatra was over, next day, Rupa Goswami was living in a hut nearby Jagannath Puri temple. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally would go, he would get up every day in the morning and he will go to have darshan of Jagannath and he will get some prasadam. First, he will go to Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami and he will give them darshan and give them prasadam. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Jagannath himself. So personally Jagannath would go to give his darshan in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he will give prasadam also. So when he gave prasadam to Rupa Goswami, that time Rupa Goswami was not there in his hut. What Rupa Goswami had already done was, Rupa Goswami took a leaf and he wrote the meaning of that sloka which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting in the Sanskrit and put, and that was written in palm leaf, and he put that palm leaf on the roof and went for the bath. And meanwhile Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that palm leaf, he read that and immediately he said to Swarup Damodar. Swarup Damodar was always assisting Chaitanya. So he asked Chaitanya, Swarup Damodar, see, this Rupa Goswami, he understood the mind of what I was singing. He understood my mind. How could he understand? And by reading that, he became unconscious. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became ecstatic by reading the explanation of that song. Again, that was in Sanskrit. Meantime, Rupa Goswami comes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by seeing Rupa Goswami, he slapped one, he gave him one slap. So Rupa Goswami could not understand why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu slapped. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him, and he took him on his lap and embraced him and took him on his lap. Then he said, how could you understand my mind, that what I was singing you explained in a verse? And then he asked from Sarup Damodar also. And Sarup Damodar said, Mahaprabhu, anybody who gets your mercy, he can understand your mood. He can understand your feeling. So Rupa Goswami has got your blessings. So therefore, by your blessing, he could understand your mind. So therefore, in Rupa Goswami prayer, if you see, then the prayer is Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Rupa Goswami is the one who understood the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, Rupa Goswami is very, very confidential servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are also called Rupanugas, the followers of Rupa Goswami, because Rupa Goswami understood the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, because we are Rupanugas, we understand the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To deliver the conditioned soul. So, Prabhupada also understood the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, we come in the Rupa Goswami Parampara. Therefore, we are called Rupanugas. So, anyway, that pastime happened where Rupa Goswami got a slap. And that song was this only. Seitha Parananath Painu, Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan Jhuri Genu. So then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the mood of Radharani, and this song was being sung by Radharani. Because Krishna went from Vrindavan to Mathura, and from Mathura he never returned back, because instead he had promised that he would come, but still he did not come. From Mathura he went to Dwarika, and he never returned to meet all the gopis. And their gopis in Vrindavan, they are crying and crying and crying in the absorption of Krishna. They have forgotten everything. They can never forget Krishna. They forgot everything. What all activities Krishna performed with them, they would sit and discuss. Since morning till evening, they would be completely absorbed in Krishna, and they would forget all their household affairs, duties, nothing. Koi parwah nahi. So once when the news came to them that there is a solar eclipse, and all the Dwarika Vasis, including Krishna Balaram, they are coming to Kurukshetra, and Kurukshetra is very nearby Vrindavan. So because Dwarika is very far off, so they can never come to Dwarika, but they can come to Kurukshetra. So they all planned to visit Kurukshetra, all the gopis, and they were very excited. All the gopis, they prepared so many preparation. Krishna likes this, Krishna likes that, Krishna wears this, Krishna wears that. So all the gopis are so excited that Krishna is coming. So they prepared all the milk preparations. Somebody is saying Krishna likes makhan, Krishna likes curds, Krishna likes this, that. All the gopis are excited. So all the gopis carrying all the preparations, they reached Kurukshetra, and in Kurukshetra, Krishna is decorated like a king, right? Krishna is Dwarikadhish now, no? He is the king. Earlier he was a cowherd, simple cowherd boy, a village boy, who tends a cow, a village boy. Now he's a king. So when gopis, especially Radharani, when she saw Krishna, she said to Krishna that same verse, Seth Parananath Painu, Yaha Lagi Madan Dahan Heri Genu, Jhuri Genu. Now I have again got the Lord of my heart after so many years, and on his absence, because he was not there, I was getting burnt. I was burning in the fire of Cupid, and I was getting withered. So now I have got my Prananath. So then again she further continued her feelings, and she went and had nice exchange with Krishna. Then again she continues that you are the same person, we are also the same person, but we are not able to enjoy that ras, that bliss which we were enjoying in Vrindavan, because Vrindavan was surrounded by Yamuna and beautiful trees, plants, and creepers, peacocks, birds. They are there in Vrindavan. Here in Kurukshetra, nothing is there. Oh, you are surrounded by so many soldiers, so many ministers. So I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling by seeing you, my Krishna, that my Vrindavan Krishna. I'm not able to see that. So then all the gopis, they wanted Krishna Balram to pull towards Vrindavan from Kurukshetra in the mood of intense love, because they said to Krishna that we are not able to enjoy here. You are surrounded by ministers and big, big people. You are decorated like a king. This we are not able to enjoy. We are not able to get the feeling of Vrindavan with you here. So they wanted to take Krishna Balram to Vrindavan and enjoy again all those rasas which they were enjoying. So therefore they made Krishna Balaram, and Krishna Balaram was assisted by Mother Subhadra. So they made Krishna Balaram Subhadra on the Ratha. They made to sit them, and they started pulling towards Vrindavan. And this is what Rath Yatra is. Rath Yatra is the mood of Rath Yatra is celebrated in the mood of Radharani or the gopis, who are so much absorbed in Krishna that when they met Krishna Balaram in Kurukshetra, so they wanted to pull them towards Vrindavan. So this is Rath Yatra. To corroborate that pastime, the mood of gopis, this celebration is called Rath Yatra, which happens in Jagannath Puri. So Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maya, they are in Jagannath Puri temple, enjoying the full meal. They are like king. And all the devotees, when they pull Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maya towards Gundicha temple, the next temple is Gundicha, where Lord goes and stays for 8 days. So the Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan, and Jagannath Puri temple represents Kurukshetra. So all the gopis are pulling Lord from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. So this is what Jagannath Puri Yatra is. So because gopis had done this, and now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in that mood of gopis, so he started singing all the songs which gopis were singing to Krishna. I would share some of these songs of gopis. You can see that, like here. So here, from here I will read. Kindly pay attention and hear each and every word of this description of Chaitanya Charitamrita. You will enjoy this. So here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath: you are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. So this is Radharani saying to Krishna in Kurukshetra. Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Krishna, so he is saying that. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. So actually, वृंदावन धाम की एक स्पेशलिटी है विच यू कैन नेवर फाइंड एनीवेयर एल्स. Even in other dham also cannot give you the feel of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is unparalleled, and that's what here Radharani is thinking about. So Radharani is saying to Krishna that after meeting, Radharani कुरुक्षेत्र मिलनी है कृष्णा से. अब क्या बोल रही? Although we both are same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavan, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. So Radharani is explaining the atmosphere of Vrindavan. Here at Kurukshetra, you are dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appear just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your beautiful flute. Here, there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. Just see, this is very significant statement. When we go to Vrindavan and enjoy with Krishna, in Krishna consciousness, that happiness is experienced million times better, more than what the experience which we get even by practicing Krishna consciousness at our home, at our place. Here Radharani is saying that here there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. राधा रानी बोल रही एक ड्रॉप भी नहीं मिल रहा है मुझे वो एक्सपीरियंस जो हमने लिया था वृंदावन में. आई एम नॉट एबल टू एक्सपीरियंस ड्रॉप ऑल्सो ऑफ दैट एक्सपीरियंस. Just imagine the potency of Vrindavan. So therefore, if a devotee always desires to go to Vrindavan and develop attachments, feelings for Krishna, in Vrindavan only that can be experienced, not anywhere else. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy pastime with me. Radharani saying to Krishna, if you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. I have already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. ये राइटर लिख रहे हैं कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी लिख रहे हैं. In that ecstatic mood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited many other verses. So that was the mood which was carried by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But people in general could not understand their meaning. कोई समझ नहीं पाया उसको. The meaning of those verses was known to Swarup Damodar Goswami, but he did not reveal it. Swarup Damodar ने किसी को बताया नहीं. However, Sri Rupa Goswami has broadcast the meaning. रूप गोस्वामी समझ गया और उन्होंने ब्रॉडकास्ट किया, जिसके कारण हमें पता चला. कि अगर रूप गोस्वामी भी नहीं बताते तो हमें भी नहीं पता चलता. स्वरूप दामोदर गोस्वामी ने क्योंकि किसी को बताया नहीं था. सो अगर रूप गोस्वामी नहीं बताते तो राइटर लिख नहीं पाते उसको, उनको पता कैसे चलता है ना. So because Rupa Goswami composed, so now we are able to experience that. We are able to read that. While dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to recite the following verse, which he tasted in the association of Sarup Damodar Goswami. The gopis. So he is again in the mood of Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The gopis spoke thus: Dear Lord, whose navel is just like a lotus flower, your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. कौन बोल रहा? गोपियां बोल रही हैं that your lotus feet are the only shelter for those who have fallen into the deep well of material existence. Your feet are worshipped and meditated upon by great mystic yogis and highly learned philosophers. We wish that these lotus feet may also be awakened within our hearts, although we are only ordinary persons engaged in household affairs. So gopis, they are considering themselves as very humble devotees, not very exalted, advanced. They are praying from Krishna. Speaking in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for most people the mind and heart are one, but because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet there? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu बोल रहे हैं, because you like Vrindavan and now my mind is Vrindavan, so kindly place your lotus feet in my mind. I would deem that your full mercy. My dear Lord, kindly hear my true submission. My home is Vrindavan and I wish your association there, but I do not get it. If I do not get it, then it will be very difficult for me to keep my life. माई डियर कृष्णा फॉर्मली, सो कौन बोल रहा है? ये राधा रानी। चैतन्य महाप्रभु याद कर रहे हैं क्या राधा रानी कृष्णा को बोलती थी। सो वही सेम राधा रानी इज अगेन रिपीटिंग, माई डियर कृष्णा formerly when you were staying in Mathura, you sent Uddhava to teach me speculative knowledge and mystic yoga. Now, so when Krishna sent Uddhava, Uddhava went to explain Radha Rani and Gopis that you meditate on Krishna. Krishna is there in your heart. Gopis neglected. Uddhava later he saw, when he saw the wonderful ecstatic feeling, the devotion of Gopis towards Krishna, he became mad. Then Uddhava started praying from Gopis that, oh my Lord, if you want to bless me, kindly make me a creeper. Kindly make me a creeper. Creeper means कोई आप पेड़ बना दो, पत्ता बना दो in Vrindavan, so that when these gopis will walk, the dust will raise, and when it will fall on me, I will be purified, and one day I may also achieve that love which gopis had for Krishna. You see, वो स्टार्टिंग में तो उद्धव अपने आप को बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी समझते थे, and he went to educate gopis, but he also started feeling that my worship, my devotion is nothing in front of gopis. So that same thing is Radharani saying that in the beginning you sent Uddhava, now you yourself are speaking the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept it. So Krishna ने वहां पर कुरुक्षेत्र में भी गोपियों को he tricked. But again here Radharani is saying that you're also saying the same thing, but my mind doesn't accept. But my mind is not accepting it. There is no place in my mind for jnana or dhyana yoga. Although so many people they want to capture Krishna by jnana, by speculative knowledge, or by dhyana, by doing some exercise, some gymnastic, some dhyan. They want to do some dhyana, वो ध्यान करके भगवान को कैप्चर करना चाहते हैं. Not possible. Never possible. Here it is written by Radharani. Although you know me very well, you are still instructing me in Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It is not right for you to do so. So Radharani, she abandoned the process of Jnana and Dhyana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities. But even though I try, I cannot do so. I am naturally inclined to you only. Your instructions for me to meditate on you are therefore simply ludicrous. In this way, you are killing me. It is not very good for you to think of me as a candidate for your instruction. कौन बोल रहा है? राधा रानी बोल रही हैं. चैतन्य महाप्रभु उसको जस्ट याद करके गा रहे हैं. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing in Rath Yatra. Jagannath Rath Yatra is going on, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing all these songs which Radha Rani and Krishna they had discussed in Kurukshetra. And remembering those verses, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing, and only Sarup Damodar Goswami is able to understand. But Rup Goswami, he decoded everything, which now we are able to relish. So again I'll read. I would like to withdraw my consciousness from you and engage it in material activities, but even though I try, I cannot do so. राधा रानी क्या बोल रही है? मेरा माइंड आप में इतना एब्जॉर्ब हो गया है कि मैं मटेरियल एक्टिविटी में भी अगर अपनी हाउस होल्ड अफेयर्स में माइंड को लगाना चाहती हूँ तो हो ही नहीं पाता मेरे से. इट बिकम्स इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू विड्रॉ माई माइंड फ्रॉम यू. जैसे हम लोग स्ट्रगल करते हैं कि हमारा माइंड भगवान में लगे, बट हमारा माइंड मटेरियल एक्टिविटीज में लगता है. बट हियर गोपीज आर सो एक्सॉल्टेड, स्पेशली राधा रानी, दैट शी इज सेइंग माय माइंड इज सो एब्जॉर्ब्ड दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेक माय माइंड अवे, बट माय माइंड इज नॉट गेटिंग विथड्रॉन. माय माइंड इज नॉट टेकिंग प्लेजर इन माय हाउस होल्ड एक्टिविटीज. दैट इज द लेवल ऑफ राधा रानी. So the gopis are not like the mystic yogis. They will never be satisfied simply by meditating on your lotus feet and imitating the so-called yogis. Teaching the gopis about meditation is another kind of duplicity. So Krishna ने गोपियों को meditation के बारे में बोला कि you meditate on me, you will get all the feelings, everything. You go in Vrindavan and you think of me. So gopis they defied, they immediately flatly denied to follow that teachings of Krishna. When they are instructed to undergo mystic yoga practice, they are not at all satisfied. On the contrary, they become more and more angry with you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sing kar rahe hain. The gopis have fallen into the great ocean of separation and are being devoured by the Timingala fish of their ambition to serve you. The gopis are to be delivered from the mouths of these Timingala fish, for they are pure devotees. Since they have no material conception of life, Why would they aspire for its liberation? The gopis do not want that liberation desired by yogis and jnanis, for they are already liberated from the ocean of material existence. So, like this, it is amazing that you have forgotten the land of Vrindavan. And how is it that you have forgotten your father, mother, and friends? How have you forgotten Govardhan Hill, the bank of Yamuna, and the forest where you enjoyed the Ras Leela dance? So गोपीज राधा रानी उनको रिमाइंड करा रही हैं कृष्णा को कि आप कैसे भूल गए वृंदावन, आप अपने फादर को, मदर को, अपने फ्रेंड्स को, गोवर्धन को सब भूल गए, यमुना को भी भूल गए, अरे वो रासलीला भी भूल गए आप. Like that, gopis are requesting to for Krishna to come back to Vrindavan. So like this, it is very long uh, conversation between Radha Rani and Krishna, and there is a transcendental exchange, emotion is going on. You all can read that. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was enjoying Rath Yatra during Rath Yatra celebration. And time is over, otherwise I would have explained how in during Rath Yatra only, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing, he got tired, so went to sleep. Then that was the time Advaita Acharya and all the devotees, Sarvam Bhattacharya, they had planned for a meeting. Kiski meeting? King ki meeting for with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was tired and started sleeping, he actually slept. That time, King went silently and started massaging the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, massaging the feet. So, and started singing Gopi Geet, that same song which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was singing, Gopi Geet. Gopi Geet is the Geet which gopis were singing when Ras Leela was happening. Krishna left all the gopis, so in the separation, all the gopis started singing. They were devastated. In the separation, they sang a beautiful song that is called Gopi Geet. And that song, Gopi Geet, full of rasa, full of rasa. Gopi Geet, this king, Prataprudra, started singing and started massaging lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he immediately went in trance and he started enjoying that. And that's how it's very detailed pastime. So at the end, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up, he saw king. King is doing this. But anyway, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased, so he embraced the king. And finally, king got the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, about whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the beginning had said that he is a Vishayi, he is indulged into materialistic activity. It is better for me to take poison than to meet such person. But now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after seeing his devotion, he met and he embraced king. So that is how Rath Yatra was enjoyed and celebrated during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. Every year Rath Yatra was organized, as it is even today it is organized every year. All the devotees from Mayapur, they would come to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and have darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and attend Rath Yatra, and they would go back to Mayapur. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would enjoy Rath Yatra along with his devotees. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Rath Yatra Mahamahotsav ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. Krishna Balaram ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So everybody, please be prepared for your Sikshastakam on Sunday. We'll hear all the 8 verses. Kindly memorize those verses. And Sunday will be our last class. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare